Hey, welcome to this Windows channel, and this is a quick observational video and a little review of the latest build of Windows 10, build 14.926, and this was released today, September 14th, around 1 p.m. Eastern Time, North America, and it's the latest build in the Redstone 2 builds. First, one of the reasons why it took 2 weeks before we had a new build is that last week there was an upgrade of the insider team in Microsoft. So basically they were updating not only the machines but the software, the way that they're gathering data about the insider builds. And so before they could release a new build and have information coming in and data coming in, they had to actually make sure that everything was all right. So today we had our first build in 2 weeks. This is another Redstone 2 build, of course. Redstone 2 will come to pretty much everybody's PCs somewhere around March or April of 2017. Installation went super well. I mean, it installed flawlessly. Since the beginning of the Redstone 2 builds, no problems with install, went well, took about an hour, and then I was back on my desktop with my usual stuff. Now this is my main computer now for my 50-inch screen, so it has to work, and I'm taking a little chance here and dedicating this to my insider machine. Basically, after the install, everything was working well. I worked with it for about 5 hours, a good 5 hours. It was my main computer for the last 5 hours, just to see if it was rock solid and worked well. And it does seem to be very rock solid. Everything seemed to be working perfectly. So there's a few things that are interesting in this build. One is, so first of all, if you're looking for features, we'll talk about 2 features or 3 features maximum that are interesting, or one that I will show you, but the rest will be mostly like, well, they're doing this is happening and this is happening. So not a lot to talk about. Mostly I will be talking about what's good and what's bad in this build, but still a few new features, but not a lot of them. The first one, and that's an interesting one, is in Edge. There's something now that is added to Edge which is called snooze. So I don't know, I'm the kind of guy that uses a lot of tabs. So basically I go on and open a tab, and I open a website in a tab, and I often have 3, 4, 5 tabs open. And maybe there's something happening in one tab, and you want to actually you'd like to be notified to go back to that tab when it's time to go back. Now you can right click on a tab and go down, and there's something called snooze. And here you can remember to whatever, something about a person, a place, or what time. And so I'm gonna just add one here. I'm gonna say remember to go back to space weather. And then I'm going to say I want to have this notification at 7:38 p.m. We are now 7:35, and just a little check mark here. Now it says, okay, today only once. Of course, you can have it another day, you can have it every day, and so on. And you click remind. Now that's cool because, for example, you might have something tomorrow at a certain time happening on a certain website, and you want to have a reminder. So you can add a reminder, and it's pretty cool, and it is amazing. It's a nice little interesting feature, I gotta say. It's a nice feature. So here it goes. We've added this, and we're going to continue on. So other things that are new here is the PIN. If you're using a PIN at logging in, I use a PIN at logging in to my computer. And you know what? One of the most annoying things that I hate about the PIN, I always have to remember to turn on the num-lock key. I would have to go to the BIOS on my computer, which most people don't know how to do anyways and never want to go. And remember to, just add the feature to saying, well, you gotta, just turn on the numlock key every time. Well, now when you enter a pin at the lock screen, it's always on, and that is probably the best feature that I find for this build. Other things, upgrade experience is changed. Now, starting for this build, you know, a lot of people complain about that, even to me. Hey, I install builds all the time, and settings change, and apps that I want removed are back, and well, you know what? They are now going to stay the same. If you've removed the core app, say the news app, it's going to stay removed. It's not going to actually come back every time you install a new build. So that is also an improvement upon the upgrade process. The usage of Windows 10 is fantastic. It hasn't crashed or anything, and I gotta say that the Redstone builds since they've started are pretty rock solid. Yeah, there are bugs, and I'm going to talk about all the bugs and all the things that are right or not, but you know what? This is rock solid. So here now, what you see on the bottom right is that snooze. It says, hey, you wanted to go back to this, so you can click here and go back to your, you can click and go back to your tab. You can do whatever you want. But what's even more interesting is that you don't see this, but that reminder of going back to a tab or to a website with Edge actually appeared also on my main computer that I have right next to me. And so all the machines that have Windows 10 in my home that are on this account all had the, hey, you want to go back to spaceweather.com right now. So you want to do this or not? And then you can say it's complete or not. And you know, so it's an interesting feature. I really like that. I got to say that you know, it's an unusual feature, but I could see myself using this in the future. Now, this build, does it have bad things, good things? Of course, like every build of Insider Previews. There's first of all the fixed issues. If you had an issue with Adobe Acrobat Reader, fixed. Acrobat Reader works now. Issues in the settings and personalization. I had that appear a few times. You'd go to settings, you'd go to personalization, it would crash. It's fixed. Improved scaling of games, so for full screen, that's pretty good. Fixed issue where Windows icons and text are not rendered correctly on some devices with Intel Atom. The also fixed issues where people would experience a blue screen when unplugging Kindles, for example. Build improvements improves the performance of websites with changes to large numbers of HTML elements containing text by improving spell checker efficiency. Address largest cause of reliability issues in Microsoft Edge running Insider Preview builds. This should improve reliability on major websites such as Facebook, Outlook. Fixed issues rendering certain links, like Facebook. Sometimes the icons in the tabs were not showing correctly. So when you go to a website. Fixed issues where it prevented wireless network adapter on Surface devices not working correctly. They fixed an issue where the icon in the taskbar does not show the real signal strength. I've had that happen because this computer is in a different room than the router, and sometimes when it's a little slow, I suspect that it could be bad signal, but the icon always shows maximum. Apparently that is fixed in this build. Also fixed an issue where File Explorer's open command window here, context menu option was opening set to the System32 path rather than this desired directory. They fixed an issue potentially resulting in taskbar no longer auto-hiding in full screen mode. So a few things here. Are there issues? Yes, there are issues. Narrator with groove music might get stuck telling you only and always the number of seconds and minutes of the song that's playing. You may experience black screen when signing out and switching to another user account. That was also in the last build, by the way. So it's an issue that's ongoing right now. Just reboot the PC if that happens, if you switch to another user account and the screen stays black. Optional components may not work after upgrading to this build. To get it working again, you got to turn Windows features on or off, scroll down, choose the feature and so on, and just restart to enable it again. On some computers, calculator might not work. Now I've tried it here. It seems to be working for me, but it seems that calculator might not work for some of you. If you're using calculator, go back to the store, re-download it, and it should fix the issue here for people. And finally, keyboard users using the tab to navigate settings, that's not going to work, and it is not working well. I tried it here. So, for those users that know, tab can be used to go through the different options in Windows. So here, when I press tab, you see it doesn't really seem to do much, and that's because it should go to different options and not just stay put from time to time. So now it worked a little better, but sometimes it gets stuck, sometimes it doesn't respond. So that's not working if you ever need to do that. Apart from that, pretty much everything is working well. Another good build, I think, with the regular issues going on. And of course, as we continue using it, we'll learn more and more. If you are an insider, I would like to hear from you. What do you think of this build, personally? What is good? What is wrong? Have you been able to install it? Do you have problems? What do you think? As we're going on slowly over the Redstone builds of Windows 10. So this was pretty much my observations. So to get this build, once again, you got to be a Windows insider. You got to be in the fast ring. So you got to be one of those that is ready to experience bugs that could happen, and you'll have it as of today, September 14th. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to my channel. You'll be informed when new videos are online. Give us thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching our channel.